Remember being 20? Sleep was just an off switch. You could crash standing on the New York subway or passed out against a frat house subwoofer. You didn't need silence, you just needed to close your eyes. But now you're over 35 and your bedroom looks like a NASA control center. You have a $3,000 smart mattress, nuclear-grade blackout curtains, and a white noise machine. Yet, if a squirrel sneezes 3 blocks away, you wake up with a heart rate of 140. Welcome to the Insomnia Club. Today, we are kicking down the door to expose 30 massive sleep myths that are ruining your health. We'll explain why hustle culture is biologically bankrupt and why everything you know about rest is a lie sold by the coffee industry. We aren't just debunking myths, we are rewriting your biology. From caffeine chemistry to the truth about sleeping naked, get ready to burn your evening rituals. Let's go. Fact 1. The caffeine quarter-life myth. Let's start with the most popular drug in America. You probably think you can drink a coffee at 4 p.m. to power through the end of the workday and still sleep fine because you don't feel the buzz by bedtime. This is a dangerous lie based on a misunderstanding of pharmacology. Here is the chemistry. Your brain naturally builds up a chemical called adenosine throughout the day. It's what makes you feel sleep pressure. Caffeine doesn't give you energy, it just blocks the adenosine receptors. It's like putting a piece of tape over your car's check engine light. The problem is still there, you just can't see it. The issue is the half-life. Caffeine has a half-life of about 5 to 7 hours. That means if you drink a grande Starbucks, which has a massive amount of caffeine, at 4 p.m., by 10 p.m., 50% of that drug is still active in your brain. But here is the kicker. The quarter life is 12 hours. So at 4 a.m., while you are trying to get deep, restorative sleep, 25% of that coffee is still swimming in your bloodstream. You might be unconscious, but you aren't resting. Your brain is vibrating in a state of light sleep, unable to reach the deep delta waves needed to clean out toxins. If you want to actually sleep, and not just pass out, no caffeine after 12 p.m. Period. Fact 2. Alcohol is a sedative, not a sleep aid. The nightcap. The classic American tradition of having a glass of wine or a shot of bourbon to wind down after a stressful day. It feels like it works, right? You drink, you relax, and boom, you're out like a light. But do not confuse sedation with sleep. These are two completely different biological states. If I hit you in the head with a shovel, you are also unconscious, but you aren't sleeping. Alcohol works exactly like that shovel. It is a potent central nervous system depressant. The real tragedy happens in your brain architecture. Alcohol systematically hunts down and destroys your REM sleep, rapid eye movement. REM is the phase where your brain processes emotions, consolidates memories, and heals your mental state. When you drink before bed, you skip this phase entirely. This is why you can sleep 10 hours after a night of drinking, but still wake up feeling like you fought a bear in a parking lot. You are technically awake, but your brain is fragmented and unrecovered. If you care about your mental health, stop treating Pinot Noir like a sleeping pill. It's borrowing happiness from tomorrow at a predatory interest rate. Fact 3. The melatonin overdose. Walk into any CVS or Walgreens in the US, and you will see shelves packed with melatonin gummies. We treat them like vitamins or candy. Can't sleep? Just pop 10 milligrams of melatonin. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of human biology. Melatonin is not a sedative. It does not knock you out like Ambien. Melatonin is a hormone. It is a signal. It's the starter pistol for the race, not the finish line. Its only job is to tell your brain, it is dark outside. Start the shutdown sequence. The problem is the dosage. Our bodies naturally produce about 0.3 milligrams of melatonin. The supplements you buy are usually 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams. That is 30 to 50 times the physiological dose. When you flood your brain with that much hormone, you desensitize your receptors. You might fall asleep tonight, but you are destroying your body's ability to produce it naturally tomorrow. Furthermore, taking a darkness hormone and then staring at a bright iPhone screen is biologically schizophrenic. You are hitting the gas and the brake at the same time. Stop megadosing hormones and fix your light environment instead. Fact 4. The morning sunlight protocol. You think your sleep routine starts 30 minutes before bed? Wrong. Your sleep routine starts the second you open your eyes in the morning. This is a fact popularized by neurobiologists like Andrew Huberman, but it's based on ancient biology. Your circadian rhythm, your internal 24-hour clock, needs to be set every single morning. The only way to set it is by viewing bright light, specifically sunlight, without sunglasses or windows in the way. When sunlight hits the specialized neurons in your eyes, melanopsin ganglion cells, it triggers a healthy spike of cortisol. This wakes you up and starts a timer. Exactly 14 to 16 hours after that light hits your eyes, your brain releases melatonin. If you wake up and immediately stare at a dim phone screen in a dark room or drink coffee in the dark, your biological clock never starts. You will feel groggy all day and then wired and tired at night because your body doesn't know what time it is. If you want to sleep better at 11 p.m., go outside at 7 a.m. It's that simple. Fact 5. Mouth taping is not a fetish. This sounds like something from a hostage movie, but mouth taping is one of the most effective biohacks for sleep quality. Millions of Americans are mouth breathers. When you sleep with your mouth open, you are engaging the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight mode. Your body thinks it is under attack. This leads to snoring, sleep apnea, dry mouth, and poor oxygenation. You wake up thirsty and exhausted. Nasal breathing is the opposite. The nose is a complex filtration system that humidifies air and releases nitric oxide, a molecule that expands your blood vessels and increases oxygen uptake by 20%. By using a small piece of porous surgical tape to keep your lips closed at night, you force your body to breathe through the nose. This shifts you into the parasympathetic state, rest and digest. It sounds crazy, and your partner might look at you weirdly, but the difference in sleep depth is transformative. You stop snoring and start actually recovering. Fact 6. The junk light toxicity. We are living in an era of light pollution. You might think that because you aren't looking at your phone, your room is dark enough. It isn't. Your skin and your eyes are incredibly sensitive to photons. Even the tiny blue LED light from a smoke detector, the glow from a street lamp through the blinds, or the standby light on your TV is sending a signal to your brain. This is called junk light. Any light in the blue spectrum suppresses melatonin production by up to 50%. Evolutionarily, if there was blue light, it meant the sun was up and predators were hunting. Your brain stays in a state of micro-alertness. To get deep, restorative sleep, your bedroom needs to be a cave. Pitch black. If you can hold your hand out at arm's length and see your fingers wiggling, your room is too bright. Get blackout shades, cover those LEDs with electrical tape, or wear a high-quality sleep mask. Darkness is not just a preference, it is a biological requirement. Fact 7. The 8-hour myth and orthosomnia. You must get 8 hours of sleep or you will die early. This headline has caused more insomnia than caffeine. The number 8 is a statistical average for 8 billion humans, not a rigid rule for you individually. It is like shoe size. The average might be a size 9, but if you try to force a size 11 foot into a size 9 shoe, you're going to be in pain. Some people are genetically short sleepers, like Margaret Thatcher or Elon Musk, who function fine on 6 hours. Others, like Einstein, need 10. The obsession with the perfect 8 hours has created a new medical condition called orthosomnia, anxiety caused by the pursuit of perfect sleep. You wake up after 7 hours feeling great, But then you look at your clock, realize you missed the goal, and force yourself to lay in bed for another hour, stressed and miserable. This fragmented, anxious rest is worse than just getting up. If you wake up without an alarm and feel energetic, stop counting the hours. Listen to your biology, not a generic health blog. Fact 8. You cannot catch up on weekends. Here is the typical American schedule. Starve yourself of sleep Monday through Friday, getting 5 to 6 hours, and then binge sleep on Saturday and Sunday until noon. We treat sleep like a bank account, thinking we can pay off the debt. Science says, absolutely not. You are suffering from social jet lag. When you wake up at 6 a.m. on Friday and then 11 a.m. on Saturday, you are shifting your circadian rhythm by 5 hours. To your body, this is biologically identical to flying from New York to London on Friday night and then flying back on Monday morning. Your liver, your heart, and your hormones are completely confused about when to release insulin or cortisol. This is why Monday blues exist. It's not because you hate your job, well, maybe a little. It's because you are literally jet-lagged in your own bedroom. Consistency is king. Waking up at the same time every day is infinitely more important than binge sleeping once a week. Fact 9. The snooze button is brain damage. Just 5 more minutes. It feels like the ultimate luxury, doesn't it? Wrong. Hitting the snooze button is an act of violence against your own nervous system. When your alarm rings the first time, your body releases a surge of cortisol and adrenaline to wake you up. This is a natural boot-up sequence. But when you hit snooze and drift back off, you confuse your brain. It thinks, oh, false alarm. Let's go back to deep sleep. Then, 9 minutes later, the alarm screams again. You violently rip your brain out of a sleep cycle it just started. This is called sleep fragmentation. Doing this 3 or 4 times a morning creates a condition called sleep inertia. Scientists have found that the cognitive impairment from sleep inertia can last up to 4 hours after waking up. You feel groggy, slow, and stupid, essentially functionally drunk, because you wouldn't just get up. If you need to wake up at 7, set the alarm for 7, not 6:30. Stop practicing how to be tired. Fact 10. The sleep debt interest rate. In America, we wear sleep deprivation like a badge of honor. I'll sleep when I'm dead, says the guy who is actively dying faster because he doesn't sleep. We assume that if we miss 5 hours of sleep during the week, we can just pay it back later. But the biological exchange rate is brutal. A study from the University of Colorado found that for every 1 hour of sleep debt you accumulate, your brain requires 4 days of perfect sleep to fully recover its neurocognitive function. That means if you pull an all-nighter or have a terrible week of 4-hour nights, one lazy Sunday isn't going to fix it. You are walking around with a cognitive deficit that lingers for weeks, affecting your memory, your metabolism, and your patience. You cannot binge recovery. Sleep is a daily maintenance fee, not a loan you can default on. Fact 11. The Uberman, polyphasic myth. Every few years, a Silicon Valley biohacker claims you can hack biology by sleeping 20 minutes every 4 hours. The Uberman schedule. They claim this gives you 22 hours of awake time to build your empire. Unless you are literally a Navy SEAL in a combat zone, do not do this. It is a one-way ticket to psychosis. Sleep happens in 90-minute cycles. You need to go from light sleep to deep sleep to REM. If you only nap for 20 minutes, you never reach the deep, restorative stages. People who try polyphasic sleep don't actually adapt to it. They just lose the self-awareness to realize how cognitively impaired they are. Their reaction times drop, their immune systems crash, and their testosterone plummets. You aren't hacking sleep. You are just hallucinating that you are productive. Fact 12. Revenge bedtime procrastination. I just don't have time to sleep. That is a lie. You have time, you just refuse to go to bed. Psychologists have a name for this. Revenge bedtime procrastination. It happens to high-achieving adults who feel they have no control over their daytime life. Your boss owns your morning, your kids own your evening, and your mortgage owns your soul. So, when 11 p.m. hits, you stay up until 2 a.m. scrolling TikTok or watching Netflix, not because you aren't tired, but because it feels like the only freedom you have. You are stealing time from your sleep to feel a sense of control. It is a psychological rebellion against your own schedule. The cure isn't sleeping pills. It's reclaiming your daytime boundaries so you don't feel the need to sabotage your nights. Fact 13. The 65-degree rule. Most people treat their bedroom like a sauna. We love being cozy. But biology dictates that for you to initiate sleep, your core body temperature must drop by about 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. If your room is warm, above 70 degrees Fahrenheit, your body struggles to dump that heat, and your heart rate stays elevated. This blocks you from entering deep sleep. Science suggests the optimal bedroom temperature for a human being is roughly 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 18 degrees Celsius. It should feel chilly enough that you need a blanket. This cool air helps lower your metabolic rate. If you are waking up sweating or throwing the covers off at 3 a.m., you aren't suffering from insomnia, you are suffering from overheating. Turn the thermostat down. It's cheaper than therapy and works faster. Fact 14. Sleep naked. Thermoregulation. Building on the temperature rule, stop wearing flannel pajamas to bed. We bundle ourselves up like packages, wearing socks, sweatpants, and shirts. This traps heat against the skin and disrupts the body's natural thermoregulation. Sleeping naked is not just an erotic choice, it's a biohack. It allows your skin to breathe and helps your body dump heat rapidly, lowering your cortisol levels. Studies also show that skin-to-skin contact, if you have a partner, releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which lowers blood pressure and induces relaxation. So, save the money on pajamas and invest in better sheets. Your body wants to be cool and free, not suffocated in polyester. Fact 15. The sleep divorce. Separate beds. There is a stigma in the U.S. that if you and your spouse sleep in separate beds, your marriage is falling apart. We call this a sleep divorce. But in reality, it might be the only thing that saves your marriage. 1 in 3 Americans reports being sleep deprived specifically because of their partner. Snoring, limb thrashing, blanket stealing, or different work schedules. If you are resentful every morning because your husband sounds like a lawnmower, that kills romance faster than sleeping in another room. Couples who practice separate sleeping often report higher relationship satisfaction and better intimacy because they are actually rested and happy to see each other in the morning. Stop romanticizing unconsciousness. You can cuddle, do your business, and then go to your own sanctuary to actually sleep. Fact 16. Pets are biological disruptors. I know, you love your dog. He is a good boy. But he is terrible for your sleep hygiene. Humans are monophasic sleepers, one long block. Dogs and cats are polyphasic. They sleep, wake up, move, scratch, and patrol. Every time your 70-pound golden retriever adjusts his position, your brain registers a micro-awakening. You might not remember it, but it kicks you out of deep sleep. Plus, let's be honest about hygiene. Your cat just walked in a litter box and is now standing on your pillow. The dander and allergens trigger mild inflammation in your sinuses, leading to snoring and mouth breathing. If you want high-performance sleep, the bedroom should be a no-fly zone for pets. Get them a luxury dog bed. They will survive. Fact 17. Silence is scary. The predator instinct. You spend thousands on soundproofing because you think you need absolute silence. But have you ever noticed that dead silence is actually terrifying? Evolutionarily, if the forest suddenly went quiet, it meant a predator was hunting. Your primitive brain interprets total silence as a threat. In a silent room, the sound of a house settling or a distant car sounds like a gunshot. This is why white noise, or pink, brown noise, is superior. A fan, an air purifier, or a sound machine creates a sound blanket that masks sudden noises. It gives your brain a consistent frequency that signals safety. You don't need silence. You need a consistent, non-threatening background hum to tell your amygdala to shut up. Fact 18. The brainwash glymphatic system. For decades, scientists thought sleep was just passive rest, like parking a car. We were wrong. Sleep is an active cleaning cycle. In 2012, researchers discovered the glymphatic system. When you enter deep sleep, your brain cells literally shrink by 60%, opening up channels for cerebral spinal fluid to rush through and power wash your brain tissue. This fluid flushes out neurotoxins, specifically beta-amyloid and tau proteins, which are the sticky plaques linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. If you don't get deep sleep, this sewage builds up. You wake up foggy, not because you are tired, but because your brain is literally dirty. Sleep is the only time the janitor comes in to clean the building. Don't lock him out. Fact 19. The magnesium versus milk myth. Your grandma told you to drink warm milk to sleep because it has tryptophan. As we discussed, that's a myth. You'd need gallons. But if you want a real chemical helper, look at magnesium glycinate. Most Americans, about 50 to 70%, are deficient in magnesium because our soil is depleted. Magnesium is the chill pill of the mineral world. It regulates neurotransmitters, relaxes muscles, and lowers cortisol. But be careful. Cheap supplements use magnesium oxide, which is basically a laxative. If you take that, you won't sleep. You'll be destroying your toilet. Get glycinate or threonate. It's the biohack that actually works. Fact 20. The hypnic jerk, why you fall. You are just drifting off to sleep, feeling peaceful, and suddenly, bam! Your whole body jerks, your heart races, and you feel like you just fell off a cliff. This is called a hypnic jerk. It's not a seizure, and you aren't dying. It's a relic from our evolution. When we were primates sleeping in trees, total muscle relaxation meant you might fall and get eaten by a leopard. So, as your muscles go limp during the transition to sleep, your primitive brain sometimes panics. Oh no, no resistance. We are falling. It sends a massive electrical jolt to your muscles to catch yourself. It's just your inner monkey trying to save your life. Thank it, roll over, and go back to sleep. Fact 21. Sleep paralysis is not a demon. This is the most terrifying experience a human can have. You wake up, you can see the room, but you cannot move a muscle. You feel a heavy weight on your chest, and often you see a shadowy figure in the corner. For centuries, people thought this was a demon or an alien abduction. Relax, it's just a software glitch. When you enter REM sleep, dreaming, your brain paralyzes your major muscles so you don't act out your dreams and punch your spouse. This is called REM atonia. Sleep paralysis happens when your conscious mind wakes up before the chemical paralysis wears off. You are mentally awake, but physically locked. The shadow demon? That is your amygdala, fear center, trying to hallucinate an explanation for why you are paralyzed. It's a terrifying hallucination, but it's harmless. Just wait 60 seconds and your drivers will reboot. Fact 22. Dreams happen in real time. Movies like Inception lied to you. They claim that 5 minutes in the real world can be an hour in the dream world. It's a cool concept, but scientifically false. Dr. Stephen LaBerge, a pioneer in lucid dreaming, proved this by having dreamers signal with their eyes while sleeping. The results showed that time in a dream flows at almost the exact same speed as time in reality. If you dream about walking down a long hallway for 10 minutes, you were physically in REM sleep for 10 minutes. Your brain does not have a time dilation feature. So, if you wake up exhausted after a dream about working a double shift at your job, I'm sorry, but you basically just worked for free. Fact 23. Waking up at 3 a.m. is normal, biphasic sleep. You wake up at 3 a.m. You panic. Oh no, I have insomnia, my day is ruined. Actually, you are just historically accurate. Before the invention of the light bulb, humans didn't sleep in one 8-hour block. We were biphasic sleepers. We slept in 2 shifts. First sleep, from sunset to midnight, and second sleep, from 1 a.m. to sunrise. In the hour between, people would pray, write, have sex, or tend the fire. It was normal. The anxiety you feel about waking up is a modern invention caused by the Industrial Revolution. If you wake up at night, don't grab your phone. Just relax. Your body is remembering its factory settings. You will drift back off if you stop stressing about it. Fact 24. The 10-3-2-1 rule. The ultimate hack. We have debunked 23 myths. Now, here is the one truth you need. You cannot just sprint into bed at 60 miles per hour and expect to park instantly. You need a biological runway. This is the 10-3-2-1 rule, used by top performance coaches. 10 hours before bed. No more caffeine. Clear the adenosine. 3 hours before bed. No more food or alcohol. Let digestion finish so energy goes to repair, not digestion. 2 hours before bed. No more work. Close the laptop. Cortisol needs to drop. 1 hour before bed. No more screens. Melatonin needs darkness. If you follow this protocol, you won't need pills. Your body will shut down automatically. Fact 25. The danger of power naps. I'll just take a quick nap. Be careful. Napping is playing Russian roulette with your energy levels. Sleep science dictates you have 2 safe windows, 20 minutes or 90 minutes. A 20-minute NASA nap refreshes you without entering deep sleep. A 90-minute nap takes you through a full cycle: light, deep, REM, light. But if you wake up after 45 or 60 minutes, you are waking up from deep delta sleep. This causes severe sleep inertia. You will wake up not knowing what year it is, feeling groggy, angry, and dumber than before. Set an alarm or don't nap at all. Fact 26. You can't learn Spanish while sleeping. In the 90s, infomercials sold tapes promising you could learn a language while you sleep. This is total garbage. During sleep, your brain disconnects its sensory input channels, the thalamus, to focus on internal consolidation. It is in save mode, not record mode. If you play Spanish lessons all night, the only thing you will learn is how to be annoyed by the sound of Spanish in the morning. Sleep is for cementing memories you already formed during the day. You have to do the work while you are awake. There is no shortcut to genius. Fact 27. The Thanksgiving turkey lie. Every American knows the myth. Turkey makes you sleepy because it has tryptophan. This is the classic excuse for passing out on the couch after Thanksgiving dinner. But chicken and cheddar cheese actually have more tryptophan than turkey, and you don't pass out after a sandwich. You are tired because you just ate 3,000 calories of mashed potatoes, stuffing, and pie. That massive carbohydrate load triggered a huge insulin spike, which crashed your blood sugar. Plus, your body is diverting all its energy to digestion. Don't blame the bird, blame the gluttony. Fact 28. Black and white dreams. Here is a bizarre fact about neuroplasticity. Studies conducted in the mid-20th century found that the majority of Americans dreamed in black and white. Why? Because they grew up watching black and white television. Today, nearly everyone dreams in color. This proves that your subconscious is heavily programmed by the media you consume. If you spend 10 hours a day staring at Instagram reels and stressful news, guess what your dreams will be made of? Your brain recycles your daily input. If you want peaceful dreams, consume peaceful content. Fact 29. Exercise timing matters. I'll go to the gym at 9 p.m. to tire myself out. Bad idea. While exercise is great for sleep, high-intensity interval training, HIIT, or heavy lifting right before bed is counterproductive. Remember fact number 13? You need to lower your core temperature to sleep. Exercise does the opposite. It turns you into a furnace and spikes your cortisol, the stress hormone. It takes about 3 hours for your body to cool down and your heart rate to stabilize after a hard workout. Save the heavy lifting for the morning or afternoon. Evening is for yoga or walking, not for setting personal records. Fact 30. Don't wake a sleepwalker? The old myth says, if you wake a sleepwalker, they will have a heart attack and die. This is false. Waking them won't kill them. It will just confuse them and make them agitated. However, not waking them can be dangerous. Sleepwalkers have fallen out of windows, driven cars, and cooked meals while asleep. If you see someone sleepwalking, don't scream at them. Gently guide them by the elbow back to bed. They are running on autopilot. Be the pilot they need. So, there you have it. 30 bricks smashed in the wall of sleep ignorance. We treat sleep like an inconvenience, a weakness, or a waste of time. But in reality, it is the single most effective performance-enhancing drug known to man. It cleans your brain, repairs your muscles, regulates your emotions, and keeps you from going insane. Stop buying expensive supplements and start respecting your biology. Cool down your room, tape your mouth, block the blue light, and stop drinking espresso at 5 p.m. If you are watching this at 2 a.m., turn off your phone. Seriously, go to sleep. Your brain needs a wash. Subscribe for more reality checks, and I'll see you in the next video.